Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same.
La increíble fragancia de Old Spice Dynasty te ayuda a levantarte.
Same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, Drake, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fuck it, where my mask at? The mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side damage shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show, homie. I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you holler in cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live, got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga. It'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead ops if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right, y'all, we got to get right to work. Shout out to Brother Eric. Appreciate you, man. Go check out Brother Eric, 16 to Life. You can go to his website, 16tolife.com. I got my You're Down t-shirt today in the mail. I got my You're Down pull over today. Shout out to Brother Eric. Appreciate you, brother. Brother Eric's a good brother, man. Did 24 years out there on the California penal yard. You know, he's just a good dude, man. He's trying to talk to these young brothers and get them not to follow and make some of the mistakes he made, man. Shout out to Brother Eric, man. If you get a chance, go over there and check him out. Plus, he's just a funny dude, man. Got a lot of funny stories over there on his page, 16 to Life. You know, just a good dude. Can rap, can sing, he's funny dude, can tell stories. Just a funny dude, man. If you're having a party or something, man, hire this cat, man. This cat come over, just tell funny stories, man. He's a funny dude, man. All right, shout out to Brother Eric. All right, let me move on, man, because I got another live stream to do later on this evening, so I gotta get this out. But I've been buzzing around the streets. Well, first let me do some shout outs. Let me shout out Brother Marcus. Brother Marcus said, "Yep, I'm pro-life all the way. Not ashamed about it. Are there still not ashamed about it? There are still states blue." Right on, Marcus. Well, you know, man, blue states are. And then Marcus says, "Blue states allowing a planned self-deletion. It just means you got to travel once it's 5 to 6 weeks. The baby is forming organs. Excuse me, but if it's 3 to 4 weeks for it to go, I guess it could be a plane or a train." You know what, Marcus, is the thing, man. If you delete a woman that is pregnant, whether the fetus is 1 day old or 2 days old, you can get charged for a double homicide, right? But you can delete a baby up to 8 months, right? That's funny. It's funny how it works like that. But that's not murder. That's not considered a murder, right? Anyway, I mean, just the way it is, man, they're gonna have to get some consistency around here because it's off the chain. Shout out to Daryl Long, man. Daryl Long, man, dang, man. I seen two of Daryl Long's live streams, man. Home runs, both of them, man. Home runs. Dude is really stepping his game up, man. Stepping his game up. Shout out to the young brother Daryl Long, man. Stepping his game up. Finally seeing the guy that I knew was in there, man. I see that guy out there now. Shout out to him, man. He running right past old guys like me and Rico. But shout out to him, man. Okay. Shout out to Brother Chris. Good to see you in the building, my brother. Good to see you in the building, man. All right, we're about to have a serious discussion right quick. Okay. All right, so we have done this whole thing about the Roe versus Wade. We see the Roe versus Wade situation, right? Okay, so in the Roe versus Wade situation, they are saying that you can't murk a baby, generally speaking, in certain states, right? Well, the government is saying it, but certain states, they're basically saying the government is not going to stop it, right? The government is not going to, condone it, rather, excuse me. The government's not going to condone it. It's like kind of like marijuana. We're not going to enforce anything over it. It's an issue for the states to decide, each state to decide, right? Okay, so shout out to Sister Reza Neal, always in the house. Appreciate you, Sister Reza. Okay, so if it's up to each individual state to decide whether you can murk a baby under the law of that state. Basically where we're at, right? I don't think much has changed except for the states that were allowing it because of the feds, right? I don't think baby murks were popular there either. I live in California, man. You can go buy some weed. You can buy some weed. You can get a prostitute, and you can get a baby murk all on the same block out here in Los Angeles, man. You can do all that right here on the same block, man. You can get some crack cocaine and some weed and a baby murk and some alcohol and a gun, all of that, and you can go and get your soul saved in the church, all on the same block in Los Angeles, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, pretty much all these baby market places pretty much are around in or close to the communities, what they call communities of color, right? Whatever that means, right? Communities of color. But and so if that's the situation, then we may have a problem as far as the offset in the numbers. I was just looking at the statistics, and I'm looking at this. You can go to this website, www.kff.org. It says black women. Hold on, y'all. It says black women get the most abortions, 38% of reported baby marks in the U.S. 38% of them are by black women. Reported are black women. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Now let's try to understand what's happening here and why this is such a big issue. First of all, why is the baby murking such a big issue? Why is this such a big issue? Right? You should be able to go just walk in and get a baby murked whenever you want one, right? And that's what a lot of women are doing. Most of the women that do get baby marks, there's not an extenuating circumstance, right? Well, let me tell you how I feel about it. This will just all be my opinion. My opinion is I am pro-life in my opinion. However, I understand that there are extenuating circumstances that for some women, whether it be their mental health or their physical health, where we have to have the option of a baby mark open. That option has to be open to deal with those situations. Therefore, it has to be open to everybody. Now, what we would want is people to morally say, I'm not going to do this because this is a murk, right? Right. The only difference is it's still in my stomach. If it was out of your stomach, then it would be a murk that they would charge you for it. And if it is in your stomach and somebody delete you as the mother, and you got a baby in there that's 4 weeks old, they're gonna charge that person with double homicide, right? Now I'm gonna ask you guys to come up here. I'm not gonna talk for a long time today. I'm gonna have you guys come up here, or whoever wants to come up here. I'm gonna put the link out. What's your position? What do you think? I'm not gonna try to sway you no other way. Just gonna try just understand your position, right? What's your position? My position is clear. You know, I feel like I'm not a fan of the baby mark. I'm not a fan of it, but I know, being a thinking person and being empathetic to certain situations of women, I have seen and known women that have had tragic and traumatizing instances happen to them. And see, we as men, we don't realize, man, women are not going to tell you, oh, I got arced. They're not going to tell you my father, molested me. They're not going to tell you that stuff, right? And what you're going to see is incompetence in their behavior. That's what you're going to see, and that's what's going to let you know that there's something going on that needs to be addressed, right? Because a woman ain't going to tell you those stuff, man. Just like a man. You going out with a man, most men are not going to tell you, I was, diddled when I was younger. I was diddled as a teenager. I was diddled as a man. I was in this group organization, and me and this dude got down. I didn't know what I was doing. It just happened, right? They're not going to. Most men are not going to tell you stuff like that. Just like women are not going to tell you they've been violated. Your own children, a lot of times, ain't going to tell you, right? That's why you got to keep questioning and questioning and questioning and questioning and questioning them, right? A lot of times people find out their children were violated. They're grown adults. And try to figure out, why are they strange the way they are? Why are they so strange? Why do they keep to themselves? Why do they not play? Why are they so, inward personality? Why? Because they've been violated some type of way, right? But a lot of times we don't find out as the parents until they get older, right? Well, women have this issue too. Women have this issue, and they're more the women are more apt to be violated than men. Females are more likely to be violated than males. Not saying males don't get violated. Males get violated too, but women are far more likely to be violated. Right? Because of the way our culture not deifies but objectifies women, and it uses their objectification to sell products to us, right? These ad companies, they use little girls in bikinis. They put a little girl in a bikini, a baby in a bikini, to sell you cereal or sell you whatever they want to sell you, right? Come on, talk to me. Am I lying? So now we got grown men that's out their mind. That's crazy. That's possessed. For example, you got a man like Jesse Lee Peterson. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson and shout out to his victims. Well, I wouldn't say they're victims. I would say they were uneducated and, because I can't call a grown man a victim. A grown man who had his sensibilities about him and knew what he was getting involved with, can't call him a victim. I can say you regretted that situation later. That I can say. But grown men getting together and having a sexual encounter, you're not being victimized, right? Nobody's can force you to do something like that as a grown man, right? You're not in jail. You're not in a camp or something like that. You are a grown man. You can get up and walk out of the room if you want to. Nobody's gonna tackle you or stop you or threatening your family or nothing like that. Okay, so, but at the same time, there's people out there, man, that's what they call predators, predators. They predators, right? They have a date which they want to cause harm, and they prepare for that date. They prepare for that date, so they call them a predator, a predator. They're predators, right? They see the prey. They know what they want to do. They know the time they want to attack. They set up the whole situation, right? There's a lot of situations why. Okay, so this is the situation that most people are using to create the opening for the baby mark, because women are going through this situation, right? Especially a lot of them we used to have. Now people are more able to say something, but there's certain cultures that I'm just gonna say there's certain cultures where incest is not frowned upon as heavily as it is here. That's just shout out to Brother Von Eric. There's some cultures out here where incest is not frowned upon like it is typically here. Typically, right? So what happens if a father gives his daughter his seed? How are we supposed to handle that? And the daughter already feels bad already being objectified by her own father. Think about, brothers, let's think about this for just a minute, brothers. Let's put this in our head for just a minute to try to have some understanding. Let's think about being violated. Now you've been violated by one of the people that you were explicitly supposed to trust. In almost every situation, you're supposed to trust this person, and that's the person who's violating you. Can you imagine the confusion of feelings and thoughts that are in your head? You hate this person, but you love this person. You see these women walking around here and they're all crazy. It's not because it's not. It's like Elijah Muhammad said, For every crazy woman that's out there, there's a man out there that made her that way. There's a man out there that made her that way. You think these women are walking around here doing all this crazy, incompetent stuff just because they incompetent? Their brains actually can work better than our brains as men as far as multitasking. Their brains can multitask better than ours. You don't hear me. You don't hear me. You don't hear me, though. You don't hear me. You don't want to hear me, though. Remember your mama could cook a cake, change a diaper, put Al Green on, dance sashay back into the kitchen, turn the food. Your mama could do all kind of stuff all at the same time, right? Look at you. I don't know. Well, let me talk about you. Let me talk about me. If I wanted to get something done to make sure it's gonna get done, I gotta write it down. Because I know I ain't gonna remember. I know me. I know how bad my memory is. I gotta write it down. But the rest of y'all brothers, these men, but see, we mishandling these women. We're mishandling them. And then we put them in positions where they don't need to be. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be single mothers. We're putting them in those positions. Oh, Clarence, I don't want to hear that. See, Clarence, I don't want to hear that. They should just use protection, Clarence. Maybe so. Or how about they should just, not engage in casual sex with random men. Maybe that might work too. That might work too. But this whole thing, this whole experiment, America, is an experiment in debauchery, and we all caught up in it, right? Bible says we born in sin. You come into this world, into this sinful world. You born in sin, and you shaped after what? Iniquity. You shaped after iniquity. You shaped after things not being equitable. You shaped after that. I'm better than you because I'm white. I'm better than you because I got long hair. I'm better than you because I got more money in the bank. I'm better than you because I can remember, I can recite more Bible verses than you. I can recite more surahs of the Quran. So therefore, I'm better than you. It's not your religion. You don't have a beard down here. You ain't even a real Muslim. You don't even have a beard down here. You ain't sleeping in no tent. Shout out to my Muslim brothers across the world and my Christian brothers across the world. That's the real Christians, the real Muslims that's doing the work. We're not thinking about these women. So I'm saying, what do y'all think, man? Is baby murking, is that really a solution? In my opinion, it's not a solution. Because see, here's the thing. The position that we put these women in is we put them in a position to take care of something they're not prepared to take care of, or they don't think they're prepared to take care of. Right? I'm not ready for this. I'm in my second year of med school. I'm in my second year of law school. I'm not ready to have no baby. Can't have no baby now. Right? But who put that woman in that position? Huh? Who? Y'all know y'all put this girl in this position. Claire, what are you talking about? She's the one. She got there's all these different ways she can protect herself. The whole thing is your responsibility. The whole thing is your responsibility, man. It's your responsibility. You the one bringing a live germ to the party. What do you mean, Claire? I mean, the woman has a dormant germ in her. Only two things gonna happen with that dormant germ. Either it's gonna meet up with a live germ that you brought to the party, and then the life cycle begins, or the body's going to view it as waste. Her body's going to view it as waste and throw it away. Come on now. Come on and talk. Come on and talk to me. Am I saying something that's a lie? Am I saying something that's a lie? Her body's going to view that without that egg, that sperm igniting that egg and bringing life to the egg, her body's going to throw it away like it was a piece of garbage. We call that a menstrual cycle. Huh? Clarence, you ain't got no degrees. How can you tell us that you ain't got no degrees? I know. Just stop me when I'm lying. Y'all stop me in the chat and say, hey, Brother Clarence, you lying. Like now you off the mark here. When does life begin? When does life begin? Well, we know it doesn't begin with the man, right? Even though you have the live germ, that means the sperm that come out of you are alive. Those things are alive. They're moving. You put them on a microscope, they're moving. They're alive. Right? If somebody murk a woman and she has a baby in her, they're going to charge that person with a double homicide. Is that right? The average man, if you hit the average man, you should be charged with millions of homicides, right? I mean, technically, right? If we're going to get technical about it, you got millions of lives in you. Millions and millions of lives in you. Right this second, right now. Old guy like me, maybe I got thousands. But you young guys, Daryl Long, Marcus, Von Eric, you young guys, Chris, you guys got millions of lives in you right now. Something happened to you. I mean, if we was to use this law unilaterally, somebody should be able to charge a person that murked a young guy like you guys with millions of. but is that practical? That's not practical, right? The lives you got that's inside of you, they got one job. One job. The sperm that's in you got one job. That one job is to go and germinate that egg. That's their only job. When they do that and they complete that task, a new life begins. The life cycle begins. Huh? The life cycle begins. Now, but is the baby alive? That's the consideration. What is the determination whether a child, when life actually begins? When the brain is formed? When the heart is formed? When does life actually begin? And why is that even an issue? Well, we want to know, when's the best time to get a murk? What's the best time to get a murk? When is it unsafe to get a murk? Or when is it now you're actually removing an actual entity that can think and communicate and everything? When are you actually removing something like that? See, we need to know this. But you know what? Most of us as men, we don't even pay attention to this stuff. Why? Because we don't even have any rights. We don't have any rights. You don't have no rights as no man, especially when it comes to a murk. You have no rights. Zero. You have zero rights. What do you mean, Clarence? I have rights. No, you don't. Only rights you have is the rights that are given to you by the mother. If she consult with you, she consult with you. But if you tell her, no, I don't want you to murk this child. I want my child. And she said to you, no, I'm in my 3rd year of law school. I'm not finna have no baby right now. I'm a market. That's it. Who do you think's gonna win that fight? Legally. Who's gonna win that Who's gonna win that battle? What they say? My body, my choice? Excuse me. It's my body, my choice. So they say to you, okay, if it's your body, your choice, okay. So what is the only defense you have, dad, or potential dads? What is the only defense you have against this situation? You got 2 options. You have 2 options to protect yourself. You can either protect yourself through some type of synthetic way, or you can abstain from having sex with somebody without, unless you're seriously considering marrying them, right? You're considering marrying this person. But see, this is what this world has made a baby mark look so. I mean, it's like nothing, right? It's like going to get a vaccination, right? Oh, you just go get it. You know? And in the black community is so jacked up, man. It's so messed up. I would say the black and the brown community, man. It's so it's so chaotic, man. It's so disorganized, right? Like I said, you could on the same block in the black community, you can buy a prostitute, you can buy some weed, you can buy some crack, and you can buy a gun, and you can buy some alcohol, and you can go get your soul saved in the church. All of that you can do on the same block in the black community a lot of times, right? They got every kind of way to get your money and for you to have some type of issue, right? Shout out to the church. I mean, they trying. But the black church, man, talking about somebody on their deathbed. You talking about somebody on their deathbed. The black church is on its deathbed. It's on its deathbed. It can't seem to outrun a lot of these issues that they have in the churches. These scandals. They can't seem to outrun these scandals, man. Used to be they could keep a lid on these scandals. Well, see, it was back in there was a time when you gave, let's say you offended, you had a scandal coming, and you could give the woman the money, and the woman would go away. Not today. The woman could sign an NDA, but these women know. and then you got people like TMZ out there. How much did they give you to sign this NDA? Oh, they gave me $10,000. Is that all? TMZ said we'll give you $30,000 plus we'll pay you $150 for your story if you let us show it on the air. How long do you think that girl's gonna think about that? How long do you think she's gonna think about that? But they said they're gonna sue me. TMZ said we got all kind of lawyers. We throw so many lawyers at them they wouldn't even know. They by the time we get done with them, they'll be trying to sell us their story too. So the woman don't go away no more. The scandal don't just go away no more. You got to watch what you're doing out here as men, especially women too. I mean, I'm not saying women are angels out here either, but I'm just saying that they the world is just a lot more lenient to women who mess up. A lot more lenient. I've seen women that have murked people that got life in prison where a dude would have easily got the death. He would have easily got the needle. Easily. This is but the thing is, here's the situation. How can you protect yourself from this situation? I don't know if you guys is why Dale Long had a stream on this morning. Especially you young guys. Dale Long was watching Dale Long had a stream on this morning, and it was really a quandary. A quandary. A man brought his child. He had a baby by a woman who had multiple children by multiple men. He brought his particular child some food to eat. Just his child. In that situation, the woman was upset that this man didn't bring the other children food to eat as well, right? Can you understand on both sides? You can understand that on both sides. But those are the kind of situations you're going to get involved with if you mess with crazy women. Same thing, women, if you mess with crazy men, those are the kind of situations you're going to be involved with. Those are crazy situations. Those are the kind of situations, man. You can avoid those situations if you just learn about it. That's why, thank you, Daryl. See, that's why I let you young guys talk about that, because you guys can relate. You guys can relate to stuff like that, man, because you guys are out there, actually out there dating, right? Old guy like me, man, I'm going to just tell you, don't mess with nobody like that, right? Case closed, over, right? You can shut the live stream down right there, right? But it's good to have, and shout out to Dale Long, man. That was a good stream. Good stream, man. Good stream. In a good live stream, man, you're going to have some contradictions. You're going to have, some pulling and tugging. You know what I'm saying? But it's always going to be respectful. And, and I see that the young brother's learning that, man. And he's handling that. You know what I'm saying? He's handling that. And he's growing. He's growing. Shout out to the young brother Daryl. But anyway, like I said, how can you protect yourself as a young man, as a man? How can you protect yourself? Okay, let me give y'all the legal situation. Let me give you the legalities of what we're going through, what we're experiencing right now. Okay, when you relinquish possession of your sperm to a female through the ejaculation process, it is implied that you are okay with what's going to occur, with the natural occurrence which should happen after that, because the implied reasoning behind that is for you to create the life cycle in her. Right? I'm telling you how the court's gonna look at it. It's implied that you're trying to ignite the life cycle in her. Therefore, once you transfer an ownership through the ejaculation process, you transfer an ownership. It's a quick transfer, but you transfer an ownership of your sperm. Now, once your ownership of your sperm is transferred to the female, she can use it for whatever purpose she wants to use it for. She can get rid of it. She can use it as waste. She can use it as a food product. She can use it as whatever she wants to use it for. Skin, to help her skin clear up. She can use it for whatever she wants to use it for. Correct? Or she can use it for its intended purpose. What is sperm's intended purpose? Its intended purpose is to ignite the life cycle in the female. Once you transfer ownership of your sperm, you don't transfer responsibility, you just transfer ownership. You understand? You understand what I'm saying to you? You understand what I'm saying to you, right? It'd be like one of your best friends decided, hey, you said, hey man, you got to go to you're going to go on a road trip. Hey, use my car. Instead of going to that friend and saying, okay, let's get the insurance in your name. Let's get this, let's get everything, the insurance in your name. Let's get everything covered. Just get you covered for what this situation. You keep it all in your name. So you're responsible for everything that guy's out there doing. Well, that's sort of what it's like. By transferring the ownership, by transferring possession of your sperm to the female, only thing you transferring is the physical possession of the sperm, not your responsibility. Holy smokes! But I thought I didn't have no responsibility. Once I skeet, I don't have no responsibility. I gave it all to her. No, you don't. I'm talking about legally. Legally, you don't. Legally, you don't. Now, the question is, if you don't transfer your responsibility, then why are you being, if you're not transferring your responsibility, why don't you have a say-so in the determination of whether this child comes to term and exits the womb like it's supposed to? See, you still have responsibility, but you have no say-so. That's like you said, like the analogy I use about the friend using your car. You could say to the friend, hey, man, I don't want you to take it over 100 miles. The friend take it, 3,000 miles. You go all the way to New York from here, right? Right? And then he just sell it. He takes it to New York and sell it. Call me, hey, where's my car? Oh, I sold it. Hey, wait a minute, that car was in my name. Well, you wasn't here, so I sold it. Oh, well. And then your friends say, sue me, right? I like most of these women, sue me. I murked the baby, sue me. What are you gonna do? They know you have no rights, right? So the only way you can protect yourself is to maintain a high degree of security of your sperm. How do you have a high degree of security? Man, you gotta let the next, you know what, there's an old saying, you gotta learn how to let the next man win. What do you mean, Clarence? You gotta let the next man win. You gotta learn how to let the next man win. You got to be smart enough to let the next man win. I forgot, there's a book called The 48 Laws of Power. That book says it another way, but you got to be smart enough to let the next man win. You ain't got to win all the time. Let the next man, you got to know when to let the next man win. Oh, you banging 30 different chicks at a time? Oh, okay. You out here getting it like that, huh? Oh, okay. Let me let you win. You win. Let me get myself together so that if I want a family, I'll be prepared for that. Or if I don't want a family, I can be prepared for that too. But we live in a capitalist society. Well, people that run around America saying money doesn't matter, that's being disingenuous. That's being disingenuous. Money does matter. Money does matter. You can't have no real life sense of life in America without at least being able to pay your rent. You got to at least be able to have a place to live, right? This ain't Saudi Arabia where they give you a house free, they give you a phone free, they give you everything free because they're making so much money off the oil. America ain't like that. America, you get what you're working for. Or you get what you can convince other people that's working to give you. That's what you get, right? All right. But let's get back to these women. Let's get back to the women. We as men, we putting these women in these positions, right? And we got to learn how to let the next man win. See, but we got egos, right? We as men, we got egos. Oh, I'll get down with all these women. I'll get down with all these women, man. I get down with all. How many kids you got? I don't even remember, man. 4, 5. They're out there somewhere. But I take care of my business. I take care of all my kids. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Right. I can, people that say that stuff to cats like me that raised all my children. Okay, you can say that to cats that don't have no children. They believe that. Cats like me and Greg Mathis, we already know. It's hard to take care of all of them in the same house, let alone all over the place. You got one in Michigan, one in Dallas, Texas, and one in LA. Like what's called Nick Cannon, 8 children all over the country. How you okay? He's a special case because he's got the income to do that. But do you think he's talking to 8 different children every day? Come on now. Come on now. His children have to learn to do without. And some of us as men, we think because we got money that makes us worthy of having all of these children. No, no, not in all cases. Not in all cases. Not in all cases. I'm sure almost all of Nick Cannon's children would say they'd rather be with him and him have a modest income than him to be this super mega superstar person and them never seeing him. But anyway, let's move on. You men got to protect yourselves, and the best way to protect yourself is stop having all of this free casual sex. See, there was a time where available men outnumbered available women, and that made sense for men trying to do different things to get casual sex, where you was always. Now there's no reason for you guys to be running around out here trying to have casual sex with everything moving. There's just no reason. There's so many women out here, man. There's so many women. You can get lost in the amount of bad women that's out here. Why are there so many bad women? Because there's so many bad men. I told y'all, there ain't no bad women out here. All the bad women that's out here, there's a man that made them that way. There's a man that flipped them like that. Violated them, let them down, disappointed them, whatever. However way you want to say it, there's a man out there that made them crazy like that. We got to start leaving the crazy ones alone. As far as mate selecting them, we got to start leaving them alone. If you are a counselor, you can counsel them and help them, then yeah, help them. Poor sister. But if you don't have no training, what are you doing messing with a sister, man, that has different situations, that has issues in the head because she's been violated? What are you doing? See, it comes out in women that have shout out to Negro. Women that have these issues. I keep telling y'all, man. They're not gonna. Most women are not gonna tell you, "I've been arped, I've been molested, I was violated. This happened to me. My dad did this. My uncle did that. My brother did this. My coach did this. My teacher did that." They're not gonna tell you that stuff. It's gonna come out in incompetent behavior. They have multiple children with multiple men, right? And not multiple good guys, multiple bad guys, right? They're going to have a lot of different crazy thinking process, like the sister that was on Daryl's, the stream that Daryl was doing, talking about this morning. The sister was mad at the brother. Instead of being thankful that he brought his own child some food, yes, maybe he could have brought the other children some food. That would have been nice, right? I took my my granddaughter to the park. Her and a neighbor friend of ours down the street. We all went to the park, and right out here in Hawthorne, right? We went out here, Hawthorne, and we went to a park, nice little park. And there was a lady out there selling the little bouncy balls. I bought my granddaughter a bouncy ball, right? Because I'm thinking, my granddaughter, her and the little boy, they're a year apart, but they're pretty much the same size. And they just running around playing, right? I brought that ball, and the way I saw them fighting over it, I was like, oh, man. My wife's like, why you didn't buy him one? And I didn't buy him. I was going to buy two of them, but all the ones they had was with little unicorns on there and stuff like that. My granddaughter likes that, right? But I went back up there to see, and just her husband had brought her some more of those bouncy balls, and it was a boy one. I was like, whoo! I bought it, but he was so disappointed when I came up there and didn't have one for him. But when I brought that other one up there, he was like, yes! They tell me he ain't been off that thing since, right? So yeah, that was nice of mine, but I have to do that. That ain't my son. I have to do that. I just did it because, I know what it's like to be left out. I know what it's like to be left out. But that young brother that was on Daryl's live stream this morning, not his children. Now, the bad part about it is he mate selected with a woman that he had no business mate selecting with. So you're going to have crazy situations like that when you mate selecting with people like that. And the sister even said, you knew the kind of person I was when you got with me. Damn. How can you blame her when she told you, right? Remember the story of the viper, the man and the viper in the Bible? Man's walking across the street, sees a viper snake on the ground, a viper, right? Deadly viper. Sees the viper on the ground, but it's injured. Picks the viper up. He nurses the viper back to health. Once he gets the viper back to health, he's feeding the viper, get the viper back to health. First thing the viper did was bit him. Inject that poison into him. As the man is dying, he says to the viper, why did you bite me? I helped you when you was down. I helped you. I brought you back to life. Viper said, you knew I was a snake when you picked me up. Shazam. What's the lesson in that? What's the lesson in that? If you know you're dealing with somebody that doesn't have a good character, then you got to watch yourself around this kind of person, man. You can't be, but y'all want to be smashing and dashing, and then y'all getting into these situations. Because most of the abortions are between 15 and 35. That's the bulk of the baby market out there. It's between 15 and I'm sure the bulk of that is casual sex, unintended pregnancies from casual sex, consensual casual sex. I'm sure the bulk of that is unintended pregnancies from casual sex, from consensual casual sex, right? So, but this creates a problem for you as a man, because now, like you said, you have no rights. You have zero rights, man. Once you give up possession of your sperm, you have zero rights. The mother can do whatever she wants to do. I'm going to murk this baby. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to give it up for adoption. You have no rights. Everything you're going to do is always chasing. You playing catch up after that. After you give up your possession of your sperm, you play catch up. If you want anything to happen the way you want it to happen, you play catch up after that. If you guys differ in thought processes, you play catch up. She gave it up for adoption. Now you got to go to the court and fight at the court. There's nothing you can do if she wants to murk the baby. That's it. I mean, you can do nothing. You have nothing, right? Like I said, once you transfer that sperm, you transfer possession of your sperm. That's the you transferring the physical possession of your sperm, but not your responsibility. The law keeps that responsibility on you. I thought I was done. See, I ski. I thought I was done. No, you're not done, brother. That's why we have these weird situations like what was on Daryl's channel this morning. We got weird situations like that. But nobody's telling you guys this stuff. Okay, let's get into the abortion thing. Who is the law supposed to protect? Who's the law supposed to protect? The mom, the dad, or the unborn child? Y'all tell me. I'm just up here talking. Y'all tell me. I think that the law should protect the unborn child first, then the mother, then the father. That's the way it should go, in my opinion. Why? Because the unborn child is not, it can't fight for itself. It can't lobby for itself. The government is supposed to lobby for the defenseless, right? That's why when somebody gets murked on the street, the government steps in and fights for that person, right? If somebody gets murked on the street, who steps in and fights for that person? The government. Huh? The district attorney. The government steps in and fights for that person that got murked and fights for their family. right? To see the person who committed, they fight to catch the person that committed the murder and put them away and make them pay for it, right? Well, why shouldn't they do the same thing for the unborn child? That's who the government should fight for, right? The unborn child should be the first one on the list. Then the health of the mother. Now, there's going to be some times where they're going to say, hey, I had a neighbor one time, shout out to her, and she knew that it was going to be a problem, but she kept the baby. They had green fluid leak. She had green fluid leaking out of her. She had green fluid leaking out of her. They told her, hey, this baby's not going to be right. She kept the baby anyway. And he came out with a lot of challenges. He came out with a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. He had a lot of stuff happen to him. What's the point? They told her, hey, they said, hey, you should murk this situation because this baby's not going to have the quality of life that. But she didn't listen to that. She said, no, not murking it. That was her decision. The boy grew up to be a kind of a person, man. She literally had to leave the house for a couple of months because of how he was acting. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a total mess. It was a total mess. And I don't want to get into how ugly it got, but let's just say it got really, really ugly because this kid got so big. I mean, the kid was probably about 6'2", something like 200 pounds, man. The mother was just a little lady or something, man. And he, at some point, because of his impairment, looked at the mother as a object of intimacy. Let's just say it like that. And he was always chasing the mother all over the house. It was just an ugly situation, man. It was an ugly situation. She had to actually leave the country for a few months just to cool stuff out, man. It was just a bad situation. But that's a situation that they told her, hey, you ought to murk this baby. How do you have all this information? Because me and her husband, we were good buddies. We were solid. We were solid, man. I'm telling you, me and this dude was so tight, man. If his grass wasn't cut, I'd cut mine and his. If my grass wasn't cut, he'd cut his and mine. Or I'd find him in my backyard pulling weeds or something. I mean, he would just go back there, go right past my dogs, be pulling weeds back there, picking apples, whatever, right? Getting the apples off the ground that was going bad. He'd just get all it. I mean, he was just that type of dude, man. Good dude, man. He was from El Salvador. Good dude, man. Just a good cat, man. I was sorry to see that dude move away. But they had some issues. But my point is, she was given the option of murder, right? In that situation, what would you do? I don't think she had no idea that boy was going to get to that point where he was so out of control, he was chasing her around the house. But he just became such a huge burden on the family, man. I don't know what happened after they moved, but I don't know if they put him in a home or whatever. I don't know what they did with him. But he became a huge burden. Huge. But see, we as men, we don't think about stuff like that, right? Some of these women got these real serious problems. It's a serious issue. Or sometimes they say, hey, look, I don't know if both people are going to make it. I don't know if you're going to make it. I don't know if the baby's going to make it. Right? Although I am not a fan of the murk, I am not. I wish we were living in a world where that wasn't even an option that had to be put on the table. But I know it's an option that has to be put on the table realistically in a modern world with all these different situations going on. You have to have something to cover the worst case scenario. right? Right? We all got car insurance, right? We hope we never have to use it. But every now and then, get a little fender bender, you got your car insurance, right? You got your insurance, right? Because something may happen. Something may happen. The baby Merc, we got to keep that door open. This is my opinion. And you guys have your own opinions, right? But that door has to be open for the worst case scenario. So the worst case scenario keeps the door open for the not worst case scenario, right? Most baby Mercs are a baby Merc of inconvenience. Hey, this is going to be inconvenient for me right now. I'm in my 3rd year of law school. I'm in my 3rd year of medical school. I'm in my 3rd year as a computer tech. My career is just getting off the ground. But I've been, trolloping, as they say, as they used to say, the old folks used to say, trolloping around in these bars and clubs, getting lit up like a Christmas tree, right? Or same thing as you, men. You trolloping around, you running after everything moving, right? You like that crazy dog in the fence, running after anything that walks by there. You running after it, right? No, men. We can stop this. We can stop this baby market situation. We could shut this down today. We as men. But we would have to put our egos on the back burner. We'd have to take our egos and put them on the back burner and say, okay, well, you know what? All this casual sex, we're going to have to shut it down a little bit. But you know what? What's most men's attitude? The more the merrier, right? There's never too many hens in the hen house, right? And then when you do get them in there, what did you tell them? You got to submit. You got to submit. You got to submit. What if you crazy? Did you ever think about that? What if you are crazy? Maybe that's why this woman ain't submitting to you, because she know that you crazy, right? Remember Sweetie Pies? I did a show on Sweetie Pies, man. I did a show on Tim Norman. Tim Norman is allegedly had his cousin, his own blood cousin, murked for the insurance money. Ouch. Here this man had all kind of fame and fortune, man, and threw it all away to get some fast money. Threw it all away to get some fast money. Right? But he had a baby mother. His baby mother was on the show, and they always made her look like she was crazy. They made her look like she was keeping her son away from this dude, this good dad. But she knew something y'all didn't know. She knew something. That man was crazy. That man was crazy, and she knew it. But they always made her look like this woman that was just trying to keep her son away from this man, but no other reason other than the fact that he wasn't the custodial parent. Like he was just this bad, he was just poor guy. He was just, when in actuality, man, this dude was a nut job. Shout out to her, man. Shout out to her. They made her look like she was crazy. They made her look like she was just this super bitch, right? She's just trying to keep her child away from this man. He's working hard. He's doing it. This dude was he was a stone cold killer. He'd already killed somebody before, did time in prison for that, got out working for his mom. Everything was going good. They got a TV show now. They got successful restaurants in multiple states. But now they got then they have they got a show on Oprah Winfrey Network. They got a show on Oprah Winfrey Network. Threw it all away to get this fast money. Shout out to Brother Anderson. Anderson the Great said, let's talk about Black Lives Recently. We back again. Hope everyone's having a great day. We are, Brother Anderson. Appreciate you, man. Glad you stopped by, man. We was just talking about who is the law supposed to protect, the mom, the dad, or the unborn child. Right? We know the dad is on the last on the list. The dad is, the law does not protect the dad. And when it comes to baby market, the dad is not even the dad has nothing to do with it. It's my choice, my body, my choice, right? Until that baby comes out. Then it's my body, my baby, your money, right? Which is, I mean, if you have a child, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take care of your child. Absolutely. I think a lot of these guys think that, okay, once I give you this baby, then my responsibility, I gave you the sperm. Now my responsibility, my responsibility transfers over to you, just like that I transferred the possession of my sperm to you. No. You're gonna retain that responsibility, right? It's gonna manifest after that child comes out, and it's healthy and it's living, and it's able to live independently of the mother, right? That's when your responsibility as a father is going to start, when that child has an independent capability of living independent of the mother. But I didn't want no child. Who cares what you want? You have no say so. Or the other opposite. Hey, please don't murk my baby. I'm murking it because I'm not gonna throw away all this time, all these years I put in to get my law degree, all these times I put in to getting the doctorate. I'm not gonna throw that time away by having a baby right now and stopping school for a year. I'm not gonna do that. What do you got to say? What do you got to say, brother? Nothing. Nothing. Now, the law is supposed to protect the people that have the least amount of protection, which is the unborn child, right? That's the defenseless. That's who the law is supposed to protect, the people that have the least amount of ability to defend themselves, right? But in actuality, the law protects the person who has the most options on the table. The law protects the mother. The mother has the most options on the table for how this thing could turn out, right? The woman could do something that's going to make 3 people happy. The woman could do something that's going to make 2 people happy. The woman could do something that's going to make only 1 person happy. The woman has all the cards. Once you, like I said, brothers, once you transfer possession of your sperm, the woman has all the cards. Yeah, the woman has all the cards. You're like a person that committed some major crime, and you got to come back for sentencing. You're just trying to see how much it's gonna cost you, how much time you're gonna get, right? Should the law protect the mother? Should the law protect the father? Should there be some protections for the father? I say this. If it's your body, your choice, then it should be a mandatory DNA test for every live birth. It should be a mandatory DNA test. The insurer should pay for it. That's it. But you know why that's not going to happen? That's never going to happen. You know why? Why? Because the mothers doing child support, they are going to make more money off the interest. When those child support payments go into arrears, the interest, they have a financial incentive to not try to change this ruling, try to change that situation. Just like the state has a financial interest not to change that, right? Because if we know who the real father is, that's the person we got to go after. Oh, but he don't have no job. Oh, well, let's not go after him. See? The state don't care who you put on their birth certificate as a father. They don't care who you put on there. Don't matter who. They're going to charge that person. If they don't pay that child support, they're going to charge them interest. They're going to charge them interest. A portion of that interest is going to go to administrative fees, and the other portion of that interest they're going to put in their pocket. They're going to put some in their pocket, and the mother's going to put some in her pocket. They're going to split that interest, some of it. Y'all ain't hear me. Y'all ain't hear me. That's why you'll never see women marching out there, like they're out there marching for the Roe versus Wade. They'll never be out there marching for child support, not child support, excuse me, for mandatory DNA testing. They'll never be out there marching for that. Ain't no state gonna be out there for that. Ain't no state representative will be out there marching for that. Because nobody cares. Nobody cares. You as a father, you have the least amount of rights. I would say the least amount of rights. Well, you have the next to the least amount of rights. The unborn child has the least amount of rights. This unborn child has 0 rights. When I say 0, I mean it can't even. It can fight to be a living organism, and yet be Hoover vacuumed out of there, right? No say so, no nothing. The law is supposed to protect you, though. That's what the law is for. The law is supposed to protect those people that that are unable to protect yourself. Even a mass murderer, that goes on trial, they will give him what? A public defender. They don't even give a mass murderer a public defender. They give Jeffrey Dahmer a public defender. Unborn baby gets 0, nobody. A doctor and a vacuum cleaner. Oh, we're not a third world country. This is America. It's America. It's America. It's America. Yeah, it is. It is. It's America. Well, you can have people that think all kinds of different things, and they can get a following here. Master Farad Muhammad said, America is the only place, man, where you can talk about whatever. It doesn't matter what you talk about, and you can get a following here in America. There will be people to follow you. I don't care what you're talking about. It's people out here that will follow you and listen to you. Right? Except for me, right? Except for me. I mean, I ain't looking for followers. I'm just looking for people that I can share ideas with, man. That's what I'm looking for. So don't trip. I'm not saying, oh God, I want followers. No. I don't want no followers, but you're gonna follow me too. No. Yeah, no. Only thing I'm trying to do is exchange ideas with different people and bounce stuff off of people that, that's just as strong as me in their thinking, but at the same time, they're poised enough to be able to express it, right? So sometimes we ain't gonna be liked by the cliques, right? The cliques are out there, they're not gonna like us. Our reputation precedes us, right? At least this channel, right? Our reputation precedes us. So sometimes that's why why you don't have no guests up here? Why you think I don't have it? Why you think people don't come in here and get in the chat here? Why you think people don't come in here and get on the panel here? You guys in the chat, y'all reputation precedes y'all, man. They know they come over here, they got to get for real, and we gonna check them. Me and Rico and Patrice, we're gonna say, hey, where'd you get that information from? If you can't cite it, don't say it. But you got other stations that they just say whatever, right? People can say, oh, because I worked in this field, therefore I'm authority on this situation, Therefore, I could say this like it's facts. Because you don't know, you don't have no knowledge to refute what I'm saying. I could come off like I got facts. Or they do like Trump. They just keep yelling at you long enough until you accept what they're saying, right? Shout out to Trump, right? But sometimes they say stuff sometimes that, you know, and don't get it twisted about Brother Clarence. I don't have no love for the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. I'm like Malcolm. To me, they both wings off the same dirty bird, right? I don't have but whichever one is going to do what we need them to do to help our community, I'm going to go with that. If that's Trump, that's Trump. If that's Biden, that's Biden. I'm going with the person that's going to do us the most good. I don't care nothing about riding with Trump. I'm not going to vote for Trump because of this. I don't care if Trump is the wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. I don't care if Trump is the wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. Excuse me. If he's going to do what we need him to do to open up and make business opportunities for us and be able to make us be self-sufficient and help us change the culture, the culture of the young Black men and women that's out there that's on a death spiral. Hey, in spite of his being racist or whatever you want to call him, if that's what he's gonna do, I'm with that. I'm with that. See, we got to learn how to be tolerant. We too busy trying to ride with everybody. Oh, I'm not gonna vote for Trump because he's a Republican. So what? If he's gonna do what we want him to do, or I'm gonna vote for Biden because he's a Democrat. Why? Why? Just because he's a Democrat? No. This ain't a level 4 yard where you gotta just ride with, where it's like, it's racial politics is like that. This is the real world out here. You don't have to do that out here. We ain't at the point where we have to do stuff like that. We're at the point now we can get up and do it for ourselves. And we could pool our resources. We Black people can pool our resources and create and create a super PAC where we can say, hey, if you don't take this money, we're gonna go right across the street to your enemy and give your enemy this money. Right? That's how you get political power. Anyway, I'm getting on a whole nother thing. Let's get back to this baby market, because that's how I really want to talk about it. What, are you pro-life? Are you pro-life? What is pro-life? I'm pro having the baby live. Now we're talking about all things being considered. We're talking about just a healthy situation. We're talking about a healthy situation. Are you pro-life? Are you pro-death? I think that anytime a woman wants to murk a baby, it should be murked. The situation, it should not even be talked about. There's nothing to consider. The only thing to consider is the death of the decision of the mother, right? Oh man, shout out to Doberman, man. Good to have you back in the building, man. Doberman says voting for a lawless ethno-nationalist who openly incites hateful whites against you is suicide. Too many Black men are suicidal at this point. Well, brother, like I said, what you have to do is do the numbers. We got to do some stuff that we don't want to do as Black people. We don't want to read. We don't want to read, and we don't want to investigate some of these people, right? We don't want to investigate and see what they actually talking about. We look at them and we see them doing these little photo ops, right? We got a lady out here, Maxine Waters. I mean, she does a lot of photo ops and stuff like that, but she was running against somebody out here in LA. I mean, This dude, man, I mean, a young brother too, man. Navy vet, and neither one of them had presented what they was going to do for the black community, right? But I got to give it, the Navy vet was giving out food. So he was giving out food boxes. I got to give him that credit. At least he was giving away the food boxes. But, you know, he got destroyed. Destroyed. Why? Because all Maxine Waters had to do was get on the radio and say, vote for me, I'm a Democrat. And black people say, amen. Black people say, amen. You're a Democrat. I don't got no job, Maxine, but I'm going to vote for you again. You didn't tell me what you was going to do. He didn't tell me what he was going to do. So it was basically just you won up for your name recognition, right? Dover says, one of the biggest reasons why I cannot consider myself a member of the Black Manosphere is anything like anything else. Black men have overdosed on it and begun to self-harm. You know what? There's nobody challenging that stuff except for guys like me and Rico out here, really. I mean, you know, young guys like you, Doberman, I mean, they don't even listen to guys like you. So, you know what I'm saying? For some reason, they feel like guys that are, you know, not out there breaking the law or whatever, that they don't want to listen to you guys, right? And they damn sure don't want to listen to old guys like me and Rico. So it's difficult for them. They look at guys like, you know, on the mothership, and they say, oh, this person rich. This person is rich, right? This person is a millionaire. They wearing the shirt that says I'm a millionaire. They got the millionaire morning show, and I'm rich, right? What the millionaire ain't telling you is that he got a regular job. He's stacking this money that y'all giving him. He's stacking it. He got a regular job, and he started out with a regular job. He still got a regular job. He's stacking this with that. He ain't telling y'all that. See, we ain't telling these young cats that. Unfortunately, man. So these young cats don't know who to listen to. They don't know who to trust. That's why we over here, Doberman, man, we try to tell the truth. Because when it's all said and done, this is the last outpost. We the last outpost. All of them, every content creator you see out there that's talking all that craziness, they're going to have to come over here. They're going to have to. This is the last outpost of truth telling. And if they want to be considered a truth teller, they got to come this way. So we'll be here. We'll be here waiting for them. We already getting ready for them. We already prepared for them. So it ain't no big deal. Whenever they come, a year from now, 6 months from now, a month from now, a week from now, it don't matter. But they're gonna come. They're gonna have to come if they want to be considered legit. We are going to be the litmus test. If you can come at me, Rico, and Patrice, and survive that, or you know, prevail over us, then people are gonna say, "Oh, you legit," right? Because we don't attack nobody. At least I don't, and Patrice don't. Rico's another story. Rico's another story, man. Rico can get triggered real easy, man, and go after somebody. But for the most part, Rico don't go after nobody unless they really saying something real crazy. Then Rico get really triggered. But shout out to Rico. Dublin says black men have an affinity for using an idea to self-defeat, whether it's religion, class, politics, liberalism, conservatism, feminism, etc. We can never find the groove of how to win. Yeah, man. See, here's the thing, brother. We supposed to lose. We supposed to lose, right? That's supposed to be our natural position in this thing called America. We supposed to be in a losing position, right? But most of us are supposed to. Now, there's supposed to be a bourgeoisie class, right? So we have some black people that work their way into this bourgeoisie situation, right? They're in the bourgeoisie where they're this buffer class between the blacks that have nothing, or the blacks that have a little bit, and the elites, they're a buffer class. So you need this bourgeoisie class, right? There it is. But we're supposed to lose. We're supposed to lose. And so people say, well, Clarence, there's no big bad black man. There's no big bad white man. There's no white man that's out here that's out here trying to do anything to any of us, right? I didn't say there was. Not one particular white man. There ain't one particular white man. I'm sure there's some out there that don't like us just because. But I mean, in particular, no, there's not one. That's why we say it's racism. It's racism. It's not Johnism. It's not Chadism, Bradism. It's racism. It's a systematic situation that is causing these issues to occur and reinforces this situation, right? For example, let's talk about YouTube. Is there any other social media? Well, it's social media. Let's talk about social media in particular. Not even YouTube individuals. Let's talk about social media in particular. This is the only place where you can show videos of black men holding up weapons at each other and threatening to kill each other, using N-bombs at each other. No other race would do that to each other. You don't see white guys holding up guns at each other on videos. You don't see the JEWs holding up guns at each other, threatening to, do each other bodily harm. You don't see the Asians. You don't even see the Latino brothers and sisters doing that, right? Who does social media give the okay to show all of that foolishness about? Us, right? They give us the okay. Go on out there. Oh, you got another video calling each other niggas? Go on out there. What'd you say? You kill niggas on the block all day? Go on out there with it. Yeah, we'll show you video. 100,000 times, million times. What? Is your body your choice? Get that WAP? Oh yeah, go on out there. We'll show it nonstop, 160, 170 million times. No problem. What? You want to show a white woman like that? No. What? You want to talk about a JEW and WAP? Oh no. The JEWs would descend on you like a bag of rocks. The ADL, JDL, they will descend on you like a bag of rocks. There's no way you will be able to do something like that. If you try to do that in the white community, the Protestant church would descend on you. They would descend on you, boom, like a bag of rocks, right? Latino brothers and sisters, you try to do something like that, man. Here comes the Catholic Church, pow, right? But the black church, where they at? Right? Where are they at? Where's the black church? Where's the black church to say, whoa? You know what? Put that behind a paywall. We can't stop you from making this kind of content, but put it behind a paywall so our young children don't have to see this and think to themselves, this is the height of acceptance, being a thought, or being a gangster. And when I say gangster, I mean gangster, terrorizing your own people, selling them poison, shooting and killing your own people. Over what? But how do we get like that? How do we degenerate like that? How do we degenerate to the point where we are doing the most baby murks? And I would say that most of those baby murks that we are doing are unintended pregnancies of from consensual sex. They're not somebody being violated, you know, that is part of it, but that's not the overwhelming majority. The overwhelming majority is just unintended pregnancies from consensual sexual behavior. How do we get like that? How do we get so cold that we could say to ourselves, I'm gonna murk this baby? Or we think so little of ourselves, we lay down with anybody, men and women. We lay down with anybody because we got a culture that says, especially for the women, you're brave. If you go out there and lay down with a whole bunch of different dudes, that shows strength. Get out of here. Get out of here. What has classically always been the value of a woman has been her chastity. That has always been the value of the woman, right? That's always been the value of the woman, right? A man wanted a child, a man wanted a wife. When he went to the father, what's the first thing he asked the father? Is she pure? Is she pure? Father say, no, she's spoiled. That means she had sex before, right? You saw, what's that movie with Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey, Color Purple? Danny Glover went to go. He went to go, and he wanted to marry the first daughter, right? He wanted to marry the first daughter. But what the father wanted that daughter for himself. So he pushed Whoopi Goldberg off on him. Oh man, that was a cold movie, man. It really made us look really bad as black men, man. Woo! Ay. If you really want to see how black men are, you know, why black women look at us a certain way, that movie, you know, that movie definitely reinforced a lot of stereotypes. Absolutely. But Dublin says, but Clarence, I cannot tell you how profoundly sad it made me to hear of our brothers and sisters making eugenic arguments to excuse 14 million deletions. This ish is damn insane. Yeah, well, see, here's the thing, brother. The thing about they have to make that argument. They have to make that argument because they're looking for any kind of way to separate their emotions from what they're doing, right? If you have a child in you and you're a woman and you know your purpose in life is to bring life, you are the life bringer, right? I was talking to Rico. We were talking the other day. We talk just about every day, but I was talking the other day and with him, and we were talking. We was like, this whole men built the whole world thing is kind of, it's not even an issue, right? Because if you say men built all the roads, right? We got content creators out here that say men built all the roads, men built everything, men built this, men built that. Yeah, that's true. But where'd you get the men from? Where'd you get the men from? Think about that one. Where'd you get your men from? See, all this has to be considered. Yes, men have built these roads and these lands and everything like that. But where did you get the men from? Did they just pop out of, you go to a tree and pull them off a tree? No, these men are coming from a woman. You can't get no men unless you get them from a woman. And if every woman decided today, I'm not having no more babies, we'd have a big problem. We'd have a big problem. I don't feel that deletions is good. I don't. I kind of like you, though, man. I really don't feel like that. Oh, but I understand that in a world that's as crazy as this one is, a world that's as crazy as this one, I know that there's going to be people that's going to be violating each other. There's going to be people that's going to violate each other. They're going to do things to each other. We're going to do things to each other that's not going to make no sense. Right? A woman's going to have to decide, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? She's going to have to decide. Am I going to have this baby? Or am I going to let it go? Or look at what happened in the Color Purple, right? The father has sex with Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg has a baby. The father, in the middle of the night, after she had the baby, he made them deliver it. He made her and her sister deliver that baby, and then they had to get rid of it. Took the baby and shipped it off to Africa. Gave it up. Whoopi finally meets her son. He can't even speak English, right? According to the story. I'm just going to the story. But what's the point? What's the point? It's all kind of stuff happening out there, man. It's all kind of stuff happening. And a lot of y'all don't realize, man, these women ain't going to tell you. These women are not going to tell you that they've been, assaulted, or they've had, they've been, arped, or they've been by a family member. A lot of times by a family member or somebody they know or somebody they trusted. I'm telling you. I watch my granddaughter like a hawk. I watch my granddaughter like a hawk. Man, all my granddaughter got to do is come in the house and tell me about somebody doing something like that. There's a good chance that person will never be heard from again. There's a good chance, because I don't care about your family after that. If you do something to my granddaughter, obviously you don't care about my family, so I don't care about yours. I don't care about your family at that point. There's no way I'm going to let you do anything to my baby. No, if I can help it. I do like the old days when you ARP somebody. The old days, they cut that person's head off and bring it to the person and say, see, this person ain't never going to bother nobody again. They bring their head to the girl. Here's their head. You ain't got to worry about this person no more. The rest of them is floating down the river. You know what I mean? But there's people out there, man, they motivated by their own desires. And they don't care nothing about other people. They don't care nothing about the woman. They don't care about, even if they impregnate the girl, they don't care nothing about whether this woman got is betrothed. Right? Betrothed meaning they are engaged to be married. Right? There's some dudes out here, they don't care, man. They're possessed by wicked spirits and demons. Oh, Clarence, you talking crazy, Clarence. Clarence, you talking crazy. See, you went spooky on us again. I'm not talking spooky. I'm not talking spooky. I'm talking about an entity that can enter your body and control the electricity going through your body. That's it. Just like a virus can control different systems in the body, there's entities that can go in your body that can control the electricity in your body. Oh, man. You know what? Y'all hold on to this channel, right? In about 30 years, y'all be like, man, I knew it. Man, that dude made sense. Right now, I'm talking over most of y'all's heads. Talking over most of y'all's heads. But the point is, what was the point? Oh, that some of these women have been violated, and we have to have this door open to deal with that, right? Even though, like I said, I'm not a fan of the baby murk. I'm not. But we have to have this door open. There's some women out here that have had some serious situations out. Or like I told you about my neighbor. Should she have murked their son? I don't know. He gave her a lot of problems. When I say a lot of problems, man, I'm not even telling you some of the stuff it was so bad, man. It was so bad how this dude was doing. It was really bad. I felt, when my man was telling me, because he used to always go down to TJ to drink. He would invite me. He'd say, man, let's go down to TJ, man. I said, man, hell no, I can't go down no TJ. I said, I can't leave my wife with these 3 kids, man. He said, they're going to kill each other. Either my wife going to get them or they're going to get her. So I can't leave them here for no weekend. I used to joke with him like that, but I just was like, nah, man, I can't go down there, man. I can't. I couldn't do it. But it wasn't something that I looked at as fun. Now, he looked at it as, hey, I need to get a break. I need a break from these crazy people. As an older fella, I understand it now. I understand it now. But he would just be like, hey, I just need a break. I'm gone, man. And he would leave. Now I know why he was leaving, but in the meantime, he was telling me all this different stuff. Like, we turned around and she was gone. Right? She just was gone. She was somebody you would see outside watering the grass or something like that. Or, like I said, this lady was from El Salvador. I would fix stuff, I would fix breakfasts and I would take them plates over there. So sometimes the mother would make these sandwiches from El Salvador. Rico know what I'm talking about, man. It's a good sandwich, man. They cut it open, man. It's a big loaf of bread, and they cut it open. And they put chicken in there. She would put chicken and cheese and onions and all kind of different stuff in there, man. It was so good, man. It's a sloppy sandwich. It falls apart, man, but it's so good, man. You can't. It ought to be a crime. That's how good the sandwich is. And she would make those. She knew I liked them. She would make them for me. So we saw her. She wasn't around for about 2-3 months. We was like, what happened? And my wife was like, hey, man, have you seen Dora? No, I haven't seen her. Wait. And then so I ran into her husband. He was telling me, yeah, man, she had to go. We had to send her away for a little while till my son could get straight. I was like, wow. And then so when she came back, that's when she was telling my wife, yeah, I had to get out of here because my son was looking at me as a love interest, and he was doing all this crazy ish, and there was nothing we could do to calm that down. So my wife was telling her about this stuff we used to get my son called what is it called? Men what's it called? Oh man, it's something you give them when you want them to go to sleep or you want them to calm down, man. But it's a natural thing, it's an herb, but you give it to them and calm them down. So we was telling her about that. But he was doing all kind of crazy stuff. And so melatonin, thank you, Brother Doberman. Melatonin, thank you, exactly, right on the spot. Melatonin, yeah. So I was giving my son melatonin, and so I said, hey, maybe you should get your son some of this melatonin. But they did their thing, man. They did their thing. Hopefully they still together. But man, it was a wild situation. But should she have deleted him? Like I said, she knew when she was pregnant with that boy, he was going to be some issue. Why? Because she was leaking green fluid, was leaking from her. And they told her, they said, hey, I don't care how you slice this. This is not good. Maybe you should murk this baby right now. She didn't do it. What would you have done? What would you have done if you know brain fluid is leaking from your vagina with the baby that's in there, and you got time to murk it, and they telling you that this person's quality of life is going to be bad. It's going to be bad at best. There really ain't gonna be no quality of life. He gonna be able to walk, but that's about it. But she wasn't with it. She wasn't with them murking, right? Catholics, she wasn't with it. How did it turn out? Depends on the person, right? But her case, it got way out of hand. It got way out of hand. So there was definitely she definitely had a point, or definitely had some reasons on the table where she could have really considered it, right? But most of these women are murking babies because they're inconvenient, right? I was in the club thoughting it up, and getting ran through, and somebody rang the bell, right? One of these guys that's hanging out in the club. First of all, you getting smashed on by dudes in the clubs. I mean, see, but this is another issue. This is another issue that I tell women. They don't know where to hunt. They hunt in places where, they hunt in places where the type of people that they're going to catch are going to be substandard, and then they complain and say, well, all men are substandard. No, all men are not substandard. You just don't know where to fish. I've been saying for years to go to the golf course, wear something that's as pink, loud and pink as you want to be, and ask for help. You're going to meet all kind of different dudes out there, right? I mean, if you're in shape. Now, don't go out there and if you all, make sure you get yourself right, right? But go out there and wear something real pink and see those dudes be all over you. Say, can you help me? I don't know how to hit the ball. Dudes gonna be all over you. They'll be all over you, right? This is what your Caucasian counterparts are doing. This is what your Asian counterparts are doing. This is what your Indian counterparts are doing. This is what your Latino counterparts are doing. You think they're going to the club looking for a husband? They're going to the club to get smashed up. When they're looking for husbands, where do they go? They're at college. They go to the medical school. Oh, you guys need people to pretend like they got some type of disease? I'll do it. Why? Because you got to create that proximity to the kind of guys that really want to be, that really understand what responsibility is like. Right? Professional men understand responsibility. A lot of responsibility being a doctor, a lot of responsibility being a lawyer, a lot of responsibility. You can't just wake up one day and say, I'm a lawyer. No, you gotta show and prove. You gotta do the years of study. Same thing with a doctor. You gotta show and prove. Pilot, you gotta show and prove. But you gotta put yourself in places where people like that go, and they looking for and they are not thinking about thoughtism. See, when the guys go into clubs and bars and stuff, they looking for a thought that they're gonna be able to pull that night and have some casual sex. They're not thinking about this could be my future wife. Please don't tell me, oh, Clarence, I met my wife at the club. Okay, you the one in a million. Most dudes don't meet their wife in the club, right? But a lot of women have this idea that they're gonna meet the man of their dreams in some hole in the wall bar and grill, right? Typically not going to happen. You got to put yourself around guys that's trying to do something. Oh, that's the computer lab. Let me go in the computer lab and volunteer to grade papers. So you gotta think outside the box. But our women think in the box that the Democratic Party gave them. Here's your box. Here's your box. You only can think in this box. And vote for me. Yeah, well, I'll vote for you if you're doing for me. But if you ain't doing nothing for me, I'm voting for whoever. I ain't a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an opportunist. Whoever's going to give me the best opportunity to win, I'm voting for you. Right? We got to get out of the whole. We're just gonna do something because we always been doing it that way. We got to get out of that thinking process. We think like, oh, this unborn baby. Like we thinking like, as long as we don't see the baby, we don't consider it as a life, right? They bring you in to get the baby marked. They bring you in. They put you on the stretcher. They give you some what they call that gas, whatever. They knock you out, and then after they knock you out, they go in there. They Hoover vacuum it out. They give you some medicine. They say you'll be straight in about 2 weeks, and you act like it never happened, right? And for the most part, because critical care in the United States is so good, you can have a critical procedure done like that, and they make it look like it's a non-critical procedure. And you as a woman can walk away from that situation, right? Right? So many baby murks happen in this country. Like a car wash. It's like going through a car wash, right? You in, you there, you on the table for a few hours, you up, you a little groggy. A couple days later, you back at it again. You back in the club. Girl, what'd you think I did? You think I'm gonna have me a baby about Reggie? I know he ain't no good. But then why did you lay down with Reggie? Right? Same thing with you, man. You act like, how did everything go? It was okay. How you feel? I'm all right. I'm just a little grunt. Okay, I'll check back with you in a couple of days. Man, hang up the phone. Yes! 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 Woo! Yes! Yes! I am going to college. I am joining the military. I am going to be on the job. I am going to the NFL. Yes! Right? Man, I'm so happy. You forget to call in a couple, 3 days, right? Girl called him back. Hey, I thought you was going to call me. I thought you was going to call me in a couple days. He go, who are you? He like, hey, look, check this out. I'm doing XYZ now, and I'm sorry this happened, but hey, I'm moving on with my life. I want you to move on with your life too. Have fun. Pop! Right? The girl goes, and what happened? Both of them right back in the club the next night, right? Both of them right back out there. They don't learn from that situation, man. They don't learn. And who wins? Who wins in the baby market? The doctors. The doctors. Why? What do you think happens to all those murked babies? Where do you think those murked babies go? That's an interesting question, isn't it? Where is all those fetuses or children going? You can call it a fetus. I'm going to call it what it is. It's a child, right? It's an unborn child. That's what it is. I mean, but you can call it See, they got all kind of names to detemper, bring down the temperature of what's actually going on. So they don't use the proper term, right? Which is unborn child. It's a child that hasn't been born yet, but they use a word fetus. Fetus, what's that? What's a fetus, right? Fetus is that's a term that's not connected to anything, right? But an unborn child, we all know what an unborn child is. We all know what that is. I'm just saying, let's use the proper terminology. Let's stop calling stuff, let's call a thing, right? F for fetus. Fetus is a term that they use in the doctor books. Out here on the street, this is an unborn child. Which the law is supposed to protect, right? Law is supposed to protect the unborn child. That's supposed to be the first person on the list, right? Why you say that, Clarence? Because the law is supposed to defend the defenseless. I told you, even Jeffrey Dahmer, he got a public defender. Even he got a public defender. And he killed, what, 14, 15 people? John Wayne Gacy. What's the other dude? Ted Bundy. They all had public defenders until, I think Bundy fired his and tried to do it himself, right? Doesn't matter. The government is supposed to defend the defenseless. When the defenseless the most defenseless person in this issue is the unborn child, right? If the child was born and somebody did something to it, they would charge that person with murder. They say, you murked this person. But because it hasn't independently moved outside of the womb, we can say, oh, it's a fetus. It's a fetus. It's a fetus? Yeah, what's a fetus? Oh, it's this homogeneous word that means, it has no meaning. It doesn't connect to a life. It doesn't connect to life. It means like just cells, right? We all are just cells. We all are cells. And it's a civilized society. The only time other people can decide whether another person lives or dies is when you violate someone else. Or when you're an unborn child. When you're an unborn child, a person can decide whether you live or die. This is just the reality. Like I said, I just wanted to come out here and holler at y'all, see what y'all thought about this whole, Roe versus Wade situation. I feel like, it's going to be a problem for the Black community because, unfortunately, it's not. There should be more. If you're going to do that, then the government should put on a campaign of education for the people so that they can learn all the different ways. They can learn all the stuff that I'm telling you now. They can teach these young men that, hey, bro, once you give up that sperm, you have no more say-so. You have no say-so, but you still have responsibility. Responsibility is still on you to take care of whatever comes out of that womb, right? That responsibility doesn't terminate unless that unborn child is terminated. Once that child comes out of the womb, you on the hook, player. So, like I said before, if that's going to be the case, then it should be mandatory DNA at every live birth. There should be mandatory DNA testing. Nobody's name should be put on nothing until there's a mandatory. It should be a mandatory DNA testing. Mandatory. It should be swabbed. I don't care. If the father's not there, Clarence, he's at work. No, I don't care. Swab that baby. Swab that baby. The father can take a test later, see if it match. But like I said, the women are definitely not going to do that because, hey, they're going to lose that portion of interest that they earn when those child support payments get in the rear, right? The women have no financial incentive to change that law. Like they out here marching for Roe versus Wade. They have no incentive to be out there marching to change to make sure that DNA testing is mandatory. They have no incentive to do that. They have no financial incentive. They have no incentive nowhere to do that. That's something that men are going to have to do. Men are going to have to push that issue. Because women that do the bulk of voting, they have no reason why to do that. They look at that as a loss of rights to them, a loss of options to them. The option of fraud is being taken off the table, and they at least want the option of fraud. Maybe most of them are not fraudulent people, but they should at least want the option to be able to commit fraud on the table. You ain't hearing me. You ain't hearing me. The state wants the option up for the woman to be able to commit fraud on the table. Why? Because they're going to charge you interest. They're going to charge whoever the father is. That DNA match, they're going to charge that person interest. And they don't care who it is. Right? To them, they ain't losing no money right now doing what they're doing. They're not going to make more money doing it this way. To me, it's going to be less of a burden on the state if they find out up front who it is, right? Then, but see, that might put the child support agency out of business because it reduced to such a small number of people who actually need that service. It might put them out of business. So why would they want something like that to change? Why would they want? They would put the mediation business. They'll put them all out of business, right? I want y'all to think about what I've been telling y'all about today, man. Because I mean, it's just some common sense stuff. It's common sense. It's common sense, man. And you know, we know that we got people out here in the bushes listening to us, and you know, hey, send them over here. Send them over here. Tell them, Brother Clarence is fair. He's a fair cat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll at least let you talk. I let Chaotic talk, right? I got videos with Chaotic where I didn't interrupt it. I mean, we let him talk. Some of us got a little triggered with him, but we're going to let you talk as long as you ain't being disrespectful to the panelists and to the chat. We will at least hear you out, right? What do y'all think? Y'all cool with the baby murk? Are y'all cool with the extenuating circumstances of a baby murk? Sometimes there's extenuating circumstances. Violation, ARP, some type of violation, right? Incest. Sometimes it's horrible. It's horrible people out here, man. And then there's good people, man, but they are possessed. They have evil, wicked spirits residing in them, man. They are possessed. And they cannot escape that possession because they are so far deep in it. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? They're so deep in this. They so far in possession, being possessed by this wickedness, man, that they can't escape it. They need discipline. See, this is the one thing y'all don't have is discipline. Y'all, all of us, we need discipline. Why do you think Jesus called his helpers disciples? Why do you think he called them disciples? Why? Because you have to have discipline to do stuff he was talking about. You have to have discipline to pray every day. You have to have discipline to walk in a world that is telling you crazy. If Jesus was in this world today driving a bucket, these people that's talking about get the bag would be saying, why are you listening to him? He ain't even got no money. At that time, he was just a carpenter, just a regular cat. He had a job, plus he was pushing a program. He wasn't rich, but he was pushing a program. But he had a job. These dudes out here, man, they seen Jesus today. Jesus riding on dusty donkey, right? Why do you think the people in Rome, the Romans, wasn't listening to him? Why do you think the Jews wasn't listening to him? Most of everybody else wasn't listening to him. Jesus didn't talk to these whole bunch of different people. I know it say you talk to the multitudes. They talk about multitudes. They talk about like 50 people, maybe. 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 But that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. The point is, you have to be disciplined in that environment to try to listen to what this man called himself Jesus was saying. They had to be disciplined. Just like now. If a man like Jesus came out here today, he would be driving a bucket. He'd be driving a bucket, probably working at like being a plumber or something. Real low-key job. Because he was driving a busted little donkey, right? He'd be driving a bucket saying, listen to me. And the same amount of people would be listening to him. They'd be like, get out of here. Same thing with Prophet Muhammad's peace be upon him. The people said, why ain't apple trees at this man's feet? If he's a prophet of God, how come apples don't just fall out the sky and come into and fall at his feet? He's just a man like everybody else. He's a man like everybody else. He's just pushing the program. You just got the discipline to push the program. You're going to have discipline, men. You're going to have some discipline out there, because if you don't, you're going to be caught up in these crazy situations, man. This is stuff, I mean, when I was coming up, man, you could never even think of being in a situation like that young brother was on Darylong's stream this morning. When you bring in your child food, some food, and the mother of your child is also the mother of other children, and that woman is angry at you because you haven't brought all the rest of her children food as well. A tough situation. I can see it on both ends. I see her saying she don't want to see her other children upset. But if that's the case, send a child out so he can eat that stuff with him. Right? That's how you fix that problem, in my opinion. But she said she didn't want him to bring that stuff in and give it to the child in front of the other children and them not have nothing. But it wasn't her place to demand that he do that. She's just not in the right place to demand that. But this is the kind of weird situations you're going to have if you're out there having sex with anybody, anything moving, male or female. And then you're going to have these murking situations come up where, it's just inconvenient for both of us to deal with a baby right now. What about the baby? Did somebody ask the baby? No. Because the unborn child doesn't have no law, doesn't have no protection under the law. The only one that has protection under the law is the mother. That's it. Father has no protection, only responsibility. You have no protection. You have no rights, only responsibility. That's not a good deal. That's not a good deal. Anyway, I'm going to go, y'all, because I got another live stream to do in about an hour. So just wanted to get out here and talk to y'all and see what y'all thought. I guess y'all want to hear what I thought about it. So I talked about it. I told y'all, watch it, be very careful, be very secure your sperm, secure your essence, secure it. Make sure it's secure. Let the next man win. What do you mean by letting the next man win? Where you sitting there talking to your homeboys or whoever, and they talking about, I'm getting all this, I'm getting all this trim off all these different women. Hey, let that man win. Because at a certain point, take it from an old man, at a certain point, quality is going to matter more than quantity. At a certain point. Right now, a lot of you young guys, you think that quantity matters more. But quantity doesn't matter more. Quality matters more. Quality. And when you find a woman that can actually be a woman to you and actually help you be a better man, you'll see what I'm talking about. But you ain't found that yet, so that's why you can't relate. When you find that, you go, got you, Clarence. I see what you're talking about. I see what you're talking about. Got it. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna get on out of here. I think I made my point about the Merkin. I think I made my point. I don't have to go into, I was watching something else where they were going to the history of Planned Parenthood and the laws, and those are irrelevant to the thinking process of the people, because the people can change the laws. If you get the people thinking right, the people can change the law. So to me, that's irrelevant. Those are laws you got to follow now. But if you want laws changed, you're going to have to change them. And men, we are going to have to stand up and step in there. Mostly you guys that are young, you guys are going to step up and put in a ballot initiative out there. Find one of these politicians that ain't no coward, and it's going to be tough to find, but one of them, and you have to put a whole bunch of money behind them to put the law into effect that it's going to have to be a DNA test at every live birth. You guys are going to have to do that, because if you don't, this is kind of weird stuff that's going to happen. Paternity fraud is going to continue, or the option of paternity fraud is going to continue, because like I said, the state is not losing no money. They don't care whether the law gets changed or not. The women are not losing no money. They don't care if the law gets changed or not. They're not the ones in court fighting to show that they're the right parent, and they don't have. Nobody has to do any of that except for the father. So you guys are the only ones that have an incentive to change the situation. Women are not going to fight with you to change that. Why? Because they see that as a loss of rights to them. The right to, even though most women are not going to commit paternity fraud. Most women are not. But they don't want to lose the right to be able to commit that fraud. They don't want to lose the right to be able to commit that fraud. Just in case, for whatever reason, right? They don't have no reason to not to fight against that, right? So you as men, you're going to have to get together and stop bitching on the internet saying, child support, or calling them baby mama terrorists and all that. You're going to have to, the reason why they can terrorize you is because you won't go to the ballot and vote. You letting yourself be terrorized, and then you blaming the terrorizer on you. Like I said about the viper. When a man brought the viper back to life, and the viper, once the viper got brought back to life and was back healthy again, first thing the viper did, bit the man. And the poison oozing through his veins. He dying there. He said, "Why you bite me? I helped you. I did it." And the snake said, "You knew I was a snake when you picked me up. What you think I was going to do once I got healthy?" Right? Some of these women, you look at them, you know it, right? But see, they can see, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get out of here. Y'all get caught up in the sexual tension. So you men get caught up in the sexual tension, right? So you can take somebody that is incompetent in so many different areas of their life, but if you put them in a tight dress where their breasts are popping out and their behind is about to fall out if they sneeze out of skirt, right? And you put them in an environment where being a thought, the thoughtism, where the competition of the thoughtism is high, right? You put them in that environment, hey, they're going to look like they're a winner all day because that's the environment where thoughts are going to be. But then when you take them out, see, and then y'all take them out, y'all have to deal with them outside of that thought environment. Now you start seeing all of this incompetence, and then you say, what's going on? Because the woman see you starting to add things up. She already knows. She knows she crazy. But she starts seeing you start. So what she do? She turn up the sexual tension. She turn up the sexual. Every time you start sniffing around saying, what's going on? You start asking questions like Scooby-Doo. They turn up the sexual tension on you. Before you can turn around good, you caught up. Don't do it, brothers. Don't do it. You get a woman, get a good woman. A good woman is not the kind of woman you're going to find out at a club and a bar. A certain type of woman is going to be out at clubs and bars, to meet men, right? A woman that's looking for a husband is probably not going to, well, a smart woman is probably not going to be in a bar or club looking for men, to meet men. They're going to be places where good men go, right? They're going to be places where men of responsible men go. The golf course, the law library, the medical building, right? They volunteering for causes. Come on. You want to meet good men, you got to be where good men are. Good men ain't gonna find you. The Lord is gonna find me a man and drop him in front of me. Oh, okay. Okay. You keep telling yourself that. The Lord is telling you to do. Listen to this brother here. Go out to the golf course. Go out to the golf course and ask for help. Hey, I don't know anything about golfing. Can you help me? Wear something pink. Guaranteed, but these dudes will be all over you. Brother Nugo said, but Clarence, Kendrick Lamar has a perfect song about male-female issues for the young ones today. Check it out. I will, Brother Nugo. I will. I'll check it out, man. Well, y'all join me, man, because I got another. We doing another live stream in about an hour. We got the brother coming in, Brother Aaron Thompson. He was a former LAPD officer, and now he's a comedian, man. He's out there touring, but he's gonna spend some time with us. He's a special friend of of Patrice's, and so Patrice hooked this interview up. So we're gonna be back here shortly. Me, Patrice, and I think Rico for a little while, and then we're gonna be back at it. All right, y'all. So I'll see y'all in about an hour. Let me go freshen up my libations, which is ice water. Freshen up my libations, man. And shout out to all of y'all, man. I'll see y'all in a minute. Thank y'all. Don't go too far because like I said, we coming back in an hour. All right, peace.